Hi, this is Bossy. Hi, this is John. We've been looking on your posts on social media, and I think we're ready to sell our house now. So what's the best way to get local home sellers like that calling you, asking for your help as a real estate professional? A lot of real estate agents ask this question, and in fact, if you go on social media, you look up how to market your services as a real estate agent, a lot of the times the answer tends to be things like go run YouTube ads, go run Facebook ads, post your listings on Instagram, and things like that. Now, a lot of them though miss the core point, which is that a lot of these things are just technical tactics, and nobody ever really talks about the underlying process that really creates that situation, creates that moment in time where the home seller reaches out to you and asks you for your help. It doesn't happen technically. It actually happens psychologically. So in order for us to achieve a psychological process, we don't need more technical tactics. We actually need psychological tactics. So most real estate agents, they tend to waste a lot of time, energy, and money on focusing on these surface level technical things. When in reality, it's not the technical thing that makes the homeowner call you. It's actually a psychological thing that actually makes that process stick. So to understand how you get local home sellers reaching out to you, we need to understand what makes people actually want to call you, what makes people desire to pick up their phone and call you specifically, and what really people want from a real estate listing agent. So National Association of Realtors recently did a study on this, and they actually do this every year, but the most recent one listed out that what sellers want from the real estate agent is that they want help price their home competitively, help sell or market their home to potential buyers, help sell the home with a specific time frame, help seller find ways to fix up the home to sell it for more. And they also listed out the most important factors they consider when selecting a real estate agent. And those were number one, reputation, number two, honesty and trustworthiness, number three, they're a friend or family member. So in other words, home sellers want to work with a real estate agent who they feel emotionally that they know and can trust like a friend. And also, they want to have that confidence in that real estate agent so that the real estate agent puts their needs first and conducts the transaction successfully with the expertise, but also with their best interests in mind. And what was also important, it was the knowledge of the neighborhood, but what was noteworthy to consider is that the company you work with and the commission split that you have, those things only account for 4%. So 96% of the overall process was about everything else we just discussed. So what can we learn from this when it comes down to listing generation? Well, if you want to have somebody to call you and ask you for your help to sell their house, the very first thing we need to create, really we need to get them to understand and believe that you specifically can sell their house for the highest possible price, but also with a specific time frame. And additionally, you need to get them to feel like you have the expert knowledge of their exact neighborhood. Additionally, it's not enough for us just to make your service look really, really good. We also need to get them to feel like emotionally that they really know you and trust you on an emotional level, just like they trust their friends. That you're credible in real estate, but also that we need to get them to feel like, again, you put their needs first. You're not just going to take their house, sell it quickly, they grab the quick commission. We need to get them to feel emotionally that you actually care about their house. You care about them as people. That is really the holy grail. And this also tells us that competing on commission, competing on your brokerage, competing on those different things, it's really a losing strategy because it's just such a small variable in the overall process. Now, if you've been a realtor for a while, I assume that this isn't surprising information to you. I'm sure you know that most real estate agents get most of their transactions from their friends, family, referrals, sphere of influence. So the question is though that, again, how many local homeowners feel this way about you? How many people do you have who feel like, hey, I'm your friend, or I'm kind of like a relative in a sense that I know you so well that I would be ready to sell my house with you? If you only have 100 people, it's going to cap your income at a certain level. So the question is, obviously, how do you do this with your marketing? How do you create that perception at sort of like a mass household level? So what realtors think that most of the times, well, that's how I've gotten my listings before, right? I had a homeowner, they told me I'm their go-to guy or I'm their real estate agent. I should go out in the marketplace and tell people that I'm your go-to guy, or tell people that, I'm going to sell your house for the highest possible price. And so what happens quite oftentimes, if you go on social media and you look up real estate social media profiles, they're full of posts where they say those things. They say, I'm your go-to guy, I'm your real estate neighborhood expert, I'm gonna sell your house for the top dollar in 90 days, or if you need a real estate agent, call me anytime. You can hear this all the time when it comes down to your realtors on social media. I'm sure you've seen tons of these posts. Now, there's a very particular reason why that doesn't work. There's a very particular reason why, all these people who are shouting all these different things are not getting 30, 50 listings and people being like super excited, coming at them and asking them to work with them. So even if you know it in your own mind, you could swear it on your mother's grave that you're reputable, you're honest, you're gonna sell their house for the best possible price. If you say it directly to a person just like that, it won't register. It doesn't lead to people to feel like, hey, this person I can trust, this person I can really work with, this person is going to be the best possible person in the market. So the psychological trick to bypass this and get people to actually think that and to work with you comes down to really to one simple thing. And instead of telling people all these different things, you need to show them and demonstrate them with your marketing. So instead of saying, I'm a top guy, or I'm gonna sell your house for the highest possible price, or you can trust me to sell your house, any of these things, instead of saying them, just demonstrate them. So that's really the key. And if you want to get people to believe that, you want to get people to internalize it. For example, instead of saying that, share a case study. Share a case study where you actually helped a person to sell their house, or share a case study where you helped a person to buy a house, where maybe at the start, their house was a little rusty. There's a lot of things that needed kind of fixing. The house's marketing wasn't necessarily that good. Maybe they were FISBO before. The pictures were kind of blurry. There wasn't a video in it. Like the overall house would have sold for a lot less than before working with you. The house was on the market, but then the seller decided to work with you. You guys took amazing photos. You guys repaired a house. And then you did a lot of marketing to drive a lot of traffic to that property. Boom, now you sold the house for $50,000 more. If you show it like that, then let's say you can either create a video, or you can create a blog post, or even just a social media post that, let's say, you run as an ad, or just post it on your social media. Well, now that's going to tell a completely different story to that home seller, and that home seller is really going to understand what you mean by those different things. Also, like we discussed before, there's other variables involved. Obviously, people need to feel like their neighborhood. So same exact thing, right? You don't want to say the west side of Los Angeles, or that the Austin better than anybody else, right? It doesn't make any sense. You just say that, well, that's whatever, right? So instead of doing that, share actual insights, share the knowledge, share information that you have, and that's really going to demonstrate to the homeowners that in fact you do have the knowledge of it. So demonstrate it, don't tell that you have these things. Now, this study does have some flaws in it because it's based on surveying people. So in reality, people do act out of their subconscious minds, and a lot of times the homeowners or people in general, they're actually not even aware of the subconscious layer that is influencing their decision-making process. So to make sure that you account for that and really get people to feel like a reputable realtor and they can trust you, make sure that you watch this video next. And combined with what you just learned in this video, it will make your results 10 times more powerful.